Hello, folks, and welcome back. On this episode, we're going to review the two electric bikes we purchased over a year ago. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. A little over a year ago, we purchased two Lectric XP Lites, one for Angela and one for me. This is going to be our review of them since we've had them for a year and have used them quite a bit since then. So let's go ahead and get started on what we like about the bikes and what we added to the bikes and what we use on the bikes. First thing is we did get the phone mount as a package deal when we bought the bike. We do like it. It's a great place to put our phones. We also got the light package with the front and rear tail lights, and we also got the lock that comes with the bike. Now on Angela's bike, we added front and rear fenders, as you can see here, added a bottle holder, and we added the mirrors. Over on my bike, it's set up the same way with the exception we added the rear rack and the bag here, and down in the bag here is where I actually store the charger when we travel, so I've always got a charger with me when I've got my bike. Now we also added the comfort seats, and you can see those there. And then we added the mount on the front for me to mount my display or my camera when I'm actually recording. All right, let's go ahead and go for a ride here. And the first thing we'll talk about is going to be our display. You'll see at the top of our display, we have an energy bar that shows you how much is in your battery. Below that, you have a speedometer that shows you your speed. And below that, you have PAS, which you can cycle up and down between 0 and 5. And that's how much the bike is going to give you a assistance. And below that is a trip meter, or it could be an odometer, voltage, or current, depending on what you have selected. Up here is where I mount my camera when we're riding. Right now, I've got my camera on my wrist, so it's going to be a little bit less stable, but that's so I can show you the display here. Now also the speedometer here will go between miles per hour and kilometer if that's what you want. Over here on the left is the control buttons. You got plus and minus on the left. You have a power button on the right. And that's how, the plus and minus is how you change your PAS. And the power button is how you obviously turn it on and off. But it also selects, if you hit it while you're riding, it'll change your your odometer from a trip meter to an odometer to either voltage or to current. Now we've got it in PAS1, and you see it goes up to about 7 to 8 miles per hour. When I hit PAS2, the motor provides up to about 11 miles per hour. If you're in PAS1 and you hit 8 miles per hour, anything over that for speed wise, and the motor's not providing anything. And that's the same for all of the PAS settings. If you get up to a PSA2 and you get over 11, 12 miles per hour, and the motor stops providing anything at that point. Now, with that being said, if you're at a PAS of 1 and you're running around at 7, 8 miles per hour at flat ground like this, then the motor's really providing nothing, so your battery's going to last for a long time. And as you increase your speed with the PAS settings, here again, like if you're at a PAS of 2 and you're riding around on flat ground like this at 11, 12 miles per hour, you're not using hardly any battery. I think I use 0.1 is my average for current usage when I'm sitting here riding around like this. And here's an example of that. You'll see the display here. I'm at 7.5 miles per hour, PAS 1, and I've got 0 current. And then you'll see it cycle up to 1 amp and then right back down to 0. Now, we initially bought the XP Lite because we wanted the lightest bike that they had. But one of the drawbacks to it is it does not have a front suspension on the forks. So when you're on trails like this, if they're bumpy, you're going to feel it. Now, the comfort seat does help out tremendously. The bike still does good on trails. You can see here we're riding down some trails with no problem. But I would prefer to have the suspension forks on the front of it. Well, we'll go ahead and show you some other videos here where we're actually in a hilly terrain. And you see the bikes traveling through here with no problems. We purchased the XP Lite when we bought the bikes because we were trying to get the lowest weight to be able to carry them in the Casita. And we think that it's an excellent bike. Compared to the XP 3.0, we think the XP 3.0 is a lot better bike. The advantages to it is it's a little heavier, which is not a major issue. The battery has a better life on it. It has gears so that you can use your gears to help you pedaling through terrain like this. And then it also has the front shocks, which makes it a little more comfortable when you're riding the trails, and the tires are a little bigger. But as you can see here, we're going down a steep incline here. We're going to cross over the river, and then it's going to take a really steep incline. It's not as visible in the video, but it's a fairly good climb, and the bike was able to handle it with no problems. So in conclusion, we'll tell you that we think the XP Lite is an excellent bike. We've rode numerous electric bikes. We've had the XP Lite in some very hilly terrain and some very mountainous terrain, and it's handled it with no problems. We do wish that we had spent a little extra and bought the XP 3.0. We think that would have fulfilled our needs a lot better. I would actually recommend that if you're going to buy an XP Lite, I would spend that little extra, couple $100 more, I think it is, and get the XP 3.0. I think in the long run, you'd be a lot happier. And the disadvantage of the little bit weight, I don't think it's going to really affect you. The actual size of it and how it folds up is about the same size between the two bikes. And I think you will be able to still carry it with a Casita with no problems. So we want to tell you we appreciate you watching and thank you very much for your support. And we'll see you in the campground.